Lay yourself flat, soles of the feet on the floor, knees pointing up to the ceiling, and then just rest the arms at the sides of the body. So coming into your constructive rest position, just to bring the pelvis and the spine into neutral for a few breaths, and let your body release here after your day. So just a bit of decompression for the lower spine. And using this time to slow down your breathing as well. Tune into a softer, calmer, slower breathing rhythm. Take a few rounds of breath where you consciously try and breathe in a little more. Letting everything expand, belly, ribs, and chest. Also slowing down your exhalations. I'm just using this time to hit reset a little bit. So switching off from your working day if you're working. Switching off from whatever activities you were doing if you weren't working today. And drawing the focus to your rhythm of breath. Making that effort to slow that breath down. And as you inhale, think about that breath, that oxygen going into the whole body. Think about it going down the legs to the tips of the toes, through the arms to the fingertips, all the way up to the crown of the head, all the way down to the base of your spine. Think about that breath really radiating out from your chest. So part of the reason we feel awake and refreshed at the end of our practice is largely due to the breathing. Tuning back into our breathing rhythm, reoxygenating the muscles, the whole body. That's why breathing techniques are recommended if you hit a 3 o'clock or 3:30 p.m. slump. I think our brains make up about 2 to 3% of our body weight, but they need 20% of our energy. So they need a lot of our energy. So sending some nice fresh oxygen up into the brain with this lovely deep breathing. At the same time, just checking in with your body. How does the body feel this afternoon? Where are those areas that might need a little more attention as you practice? Our Hatha Flow, as you know, is a more dynamic practice. So we really need to tune into the body and pay attention not only when we come into the poses, but as we transition in and out of those poses as well. So a couple more rounds of breath. And then let's float the arms up overhead. Reach the fingertips away behind you. Let the rib cage and your back arch gently up away from the floor. And then slide the right leg out, slide the left leg out. Full body stretch for a moment. You can start to roll out your wrists and your ankles. Do a few circles each way. And then as you exhale, Draw the knees, the soles of the feet back onto the floor, the knees back up to the ceiling. Let your arms relax where they are up overhead. Slide your shoulder blades down a little bit. Tuck your tailbone underneath to bring your lower, middle, and upper back all down onto the mat. And just pause here for a moment. Lightly drawing navel to spine and just feeling the spine lengthen. And look at rolling through the spine throughout our sequence this evening. It's really articulating through our vertebrae. So we'll start with a couple of rolls. Take another inhale here. Glue the feet to the mat as you lift the hips. And start to pick the spine bit by bit up away from the floor. Maybe staying a little lower for your first round to see how it feels for your back as you do that. And then as you exhale, releasing upper, middle, lower back to the floor. Breathing in there, breathing out, curling the tailbone, pressing into the feet, seeing how the second one feels as you lift the hips, and then rolling yourself down. And just keep doing that in your own time. So of course, if the lower back is a bit more vulnerable, a bit sensitive, then start low. You might stay low. But if everything warms up and starts to feel a bit more open, then maybe the hips will just naturally float up a little higher. Keep the eyes closed. Tune into how it feels for your body. We want to keep the balls of the feet glued to the floor, but the body weight drop down through the heels. So as we lift and lower, our toes stay nice and relaxed. So rolling up and down through the spine to keep the spine really healthy and supple. It helps the discs between our vertebrae reabsorb all the nutrients that they need, allows them to rehydrate so we can keep a healthy spine. Healthy spine makes us feel younger, makes us feel good in the body. So really important that we do these kinds of movements as often as we can. All right, your next roll, you're going to hold there. Again, you choose how high. Make sure your back feels like it's lengthening, not compressing. Breathing there. Think about your inner thighs drawing in towards each other so they're not touching, but instead of sort of going out in a V shape, veering off to the corners of your mat, they stay parallel like train tracks. We can feel inner thighs a little bit. We can feel our glutes activate. We've got another breath in, and then we're exhaling to roll ourselves down. Once the lower back touches the floor, hug the knees in, and you can rock and roll from side to side a few times. Again, if you are spending a lot of time working at home on a laptop, maybe your kind of desk, chair, computer setup isn't ideal. So if you are feeling a lot of compression in your back, this is one of the best things you can do. Just drop down to the floor, roll around for a few breaths. So a couple more here. You can circle the knees around one way, then the other way. Keep the breath nice and slow if you can. And then bring the body back to center. Take the knees out wide. Just reach the hands down to the insides of the legs. Hold on to the ankles. So this will flatten the back down. Make sure the shoulder blades are dropping to the floor. So no tension around neck, shoulders, or jaw. Couple more deep breaths there. Keep drawing the heels in towards your bum. And with the forearms, just gently press into the inner thighs to get that little bit of release. Nice deep breath in. As you exhale, slide the hands back up. Hug the knees back in together. Let's shift the hands onto that right shin. You can interlace the hands. Hug that knee nice and close and towards you. Pull your tummy in and extend that left leg out. Maybe hovering just off the floor as you use the hands to pull that knee in. That will help keep your lower back down. Inhale here. Exhale, changing sides. Extend right leg, hug left knee in. And then start to breathe, alternating sides. One after the other. To modify it, we bring the extended leg in all the way first before we move the hands. To make it a little more challenging, you change the legs halfway. We've got a couple more here. So drawing the knee into the chest is also a way to release the lower back. So we start creating a little bit of space there. We've got to stretch the muscles that support and surround the spine because they'll get tight from long periods sitting. So we've got a couple more here. Let's do one to the right leg. Finish on your left leg. And then hug both knees back into your chest. Slide the hands into the backs of the thighs. And get ready for a little bit of rocking along the length of your spine. So if it's feeling a little bit sensitive today, just rock up, hold a straight back, and do little kind of half rolls up and down. If everything's feeling okay, then we're going to roll back and forth a few times from shoulder blades to sit bones. So you don't want the head and neck touching the floor. They shouldn't come down at all. A few more here. If you'd like to, you can release the legs, reach the arms up overhead, touch the toes, and then find your boat pose. Where you can work with legs straight if you want to. Roll back, touch the toes, keep the legs straight, engage the abdominals to find that full Nirvasana variation. Couple more rolls there. Let's do one more if you're still with me. And then hold. Let's bend the knees so shins are parallel to the floor. Arms either reaching forward or holding onto your legs if your back is a bit sensitive. Breathing here for 3, for 2. And as you exhale, cross the right shin in front of your left shin. You turn this way and do your mirror image. So hands coming onto the thighs, chest coming forward, and then move around to the right first. Take the body back, over to the left, and then forward again. So nice big spirals here. And try and get the movement happening from our torso. So our seat, our base, nice and grounded, nice and still. We're down both sit bones. We just start to get the blood flowing into those areas that are a little bit immobile when we're sitting. Whether you're working or, like me, watching Netflix. So let's do one more this direction, round to the right. And then come back up to sitting tall. Hands behind the knees, coming back into your boat pose. Modified, arms reaching. This time if you want to, you can take the legs out straight. Turn myself on the side so you're not just looking at the soles of my feet. Nice deep breaths there. Really drawing navel to spine and trying to lift up out of your lower back. We've got another inhale. As we exhale, left shin comes in front of right shin. Hands on the thighs, bring your chest forward. This time moving to the left. Taking the chest back, over to the right, then coming forward again. So there's lovely big spirals. Again, really nice way to just get the blood moving. So this little 15-minute warm-up that we've done, if that's all you had time to do during your day after work, then that would be enough to get the blood flowing and to help your back feel a bit better. Let's do a couple more spirals this way. Coming all the way back up after your next round. You know exactly where we're going. We're back into our boat pose, belly drawn in, chest lifted, shoulders rolling back and down, modifying, releasing the arms or choosing to release the legs. Close the eyes, take 3 deep breaths here. Inhale, exhale, 2 more. Breathing in, breathing out. Use the hands for support if you need to. Otherwise, this is our last breath in. As we exhale, hold the legs, place the feet down, and make your way over onto your hands and your knees. So let's warm up wrists and shoulders a little bit. Start back in your child's pose. So take the knees about hip width apart and try and have the feet hip width apart as well. So I'm not going to hold this child's pose long, which is why we're doing legs parallel. Take the arms out in front. Keep the forearms lifted. So slightly more active child's pose here. We're going to take a deep breath. Take an inhale. Exhale here. Breathing in, roll up onto your hands and your knees. Leave the knees where they are. Transfer your body weight forward. So shoulders beyond the wrists. And then bend the elbows lower down through your half chaturanga. Elbows in at the sides of the body. Inhale. Baby cobra, hands are still in the same place. As you exhale, press up and back into your child's pose. So taking a couple of rounds of breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Last 4 rounds of breath. Exhale. Breathing in, float up, hands and knees. Knees stay where they are, body weight pitches forward. Bend the elbows straight back. They're in at your sides. They should brush your rib cage as you come down through your half chaturanga. Inhale, baby cobra, lift the chest. Exhale, take it back, child's pose. This time, breathing in, coming up straight away. Exhale to press down. Inhale, chest lifting. Exhale, take the hips back. Final round, breathing in. Take this in your own time. Exhale. Nice deep breath in to lift the chest. Draw your shoulder blades down the back. Exhale, tuck your toes. Let's all meet in downward facing dog this time. So see how the legs are feeling. See how the lower legs in particular, so the calf muscles, around the calf muscles and the Achilles. Hold stillness just for a couple more breaths if you can. And then without your hips coming forward, float high up onto the balls of the feet and then drop the right heel down, bend your left knee. Hold here, take an inhale and exhale. Inhale, float both heels high. Again, keep your hips moving up and back. Exhale, left heel down, right knee bent. Full breath. And then inhale and exhale. Starting to alternate, just pedaling out the heels. Couple more rounds there. And then let's lift the heels. Start to roll forward into your plank. So rippling through the spine. The head is the last thing to adjust. So feet might have had to go further back. As you exhale, lift the hips up and back. You'll be in a slightly longer downward dog. Try not to step the feet in. Sink the heels down. Feel that little bit of extra stretch in the Achilles. High onto the balls of the feet. Inhale, ripple forward like a wave, rolling forward into your plank. Hands and feet should already be where they need to be. Exhale, hips up and back, longer downward dog. Final round here. Inhale, rolling forward to your plank. Exhale, hips up and back. And from here, take little steps forward towards your hands, coming up onto the fingertips, and then just giving your wrists a little bit of a roll out. Keep the knees soft, and maybe bending one knee, pressing the other heel down towards the mat, just walking out the legs. Couple more breaths. And then bend your knees. Tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone. If you're modifying, hands come onto the thighs just above the knees, and we're rolling up. We're restacking lower, middle, upper back, head comes up last. Roll the shoulders all the way up, back and down, turning your palms forward. Nice deep breath in. Exhale, palms turn back, head drops, shoulders round forward, knees bend. Rolling down through the upper, middle, lower back at the front of the mat. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, start to roll yourself up. Remember, modify with hands on thighs if you need to. Inhale, lift the shoulders, roll them back and down. Inhale. Exhale, chin down, shoulders round forward, bend your knees. Keep equal weight in right and left foot. Inhale, bend the knees. This is our last roll up. Getting that lovely fluid movement in the spine. Shoulders roll all the way back. Palms turn forward. We're in our Tadasana, our mountain pose. Equalize the weight over the feet. Keep the chin parallel to the floor. The shoulder blades just drawing in towards each other. Regulating your breath here. You can close the eyes or look straight ahead. One more inhale and exhale. Into our sun salutations. Let's start with A. Breathing in. Arms reach forward and up. Urdhva Hastasana, gaze to thumbs. Exhale, Uttanasana, standing forward fold. Knees bend as much as you need to. Inhale, halfway lift. Either fingertips down or hands on shins. Lengthen your spine. As you exhale, place the hands. Let's step back to plank for our first one. Lower the knees, lower chest and chin, half chaturanga. Breathing in, send the heart through and up. Cobra, go low, medium, or come up a little higher. As you exhale, move back, downward facing dog. Breathing here for 3. Exhale for 2. Exhale, last deep breath, breathing in. Exhale, bending the knees, looking forward. Step the right foot forward. Left foot forward, halfway lift. As you exhale, soften. Roll yourself up to standing. Restack lower, middle, upper back. Float the arms all the way up. And exhale, Samasthiti, hands together at the chest. Breathing in, reach the arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, placing the hands. Let's step left leg back, right leg back, plank. Either stick with half chaturanga or lower down through your full chaturanga onto the belly. Inhale, low, medium, high cobra, or lifting into your upward facing dog if you're familiar with it. Exhale, over the toes, back to downward facing dog. Close the eyes, settle into the breath here. Inhale. Exhale for 3. Inhale. Exhale for 2. Inhale. Exhale 1. Bend the knees, look forward. Let's step left foot forward. Right foot forward. Come into your halfway lift. Exhale, soften and fold. Belly in, roll up to standing. Use hands for support if needed. Arms float out and up. Exhale, Samasthiti here. Breathing in, arms lift up. Round 3. Exhale, folding forward. So follow your breath. You don't have to move in time with me. Stick with your own rhythm. We're going to place the hands. You can step or you can take a little jump back into your plank, moving through half or full chaturanga. Breathing into cobra or upward dog. Exhaling back, downward dog, closing the eyes, tuning into your breath for 3 rounds. So remember, if further on in the practice, downward dog feels a little bit intense, you place the knees and come into child's pose as your alternative. Last inhale. Exhale, look forward. You can step one foot then the other or bend the knees. Take a little jump. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale to fold. Breathing and rolling up. Still rolling through the spine to get that release. Arms reaching forward and up. Exhale, Samasthiti here. Hands to heart center, pause here. 2 deep breaths. While you're here, heel toe the feet hip width apart. Final round, inhale. Exhale, open the eyes. Breathing in, reach the arms forward and up. Exhale, fold. Sun Salutation C. Inhale, right leg back. Knee down, chest lifting, lunge. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale to plank. This time we'll all drop the knees, slightly different, Ashtanga Namaskar. We lower chest and chin, hips stay high in the air. Breathing in, hands stay put. We move forward into cobra, low, medium or high. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot forward between the hands, left knee down, lunge. Exhale, step that left foot forward, Uttanasana. Breathing in, raise the arms forward and up, gaze to thumbs. Exhale, hands to heart. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, raise the arms all the way up. Exhale, folding forward. If the heart rate's picking up, good, it's meant to. Inhale, left leg back, knee down, heart opening. Exhale, downward dog. Building heat through our sun salutations, come into plank. Lower knees, chest and chin. Keep that control as you lower. Breathing in, low, medium, high cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale. Exhale. Breathing in, left foot forward between the hands. Right knee down, lunge. Exhale, step that right foot forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, arms reach forward and up. Gaze to thumbs. Exhale, Samasthiti here. Breathing here. In and out through the nose. By using your long exhalations just to slow the heart rate. Tune into the sound of your breath. Take one more round. Inhale. Exhale. Blink the eyes open. Sun salutation B to finish. Raise the arms up. Gaze to thumbs. As you exhale, sit back into your chair pose. So body weight into the heels, toes nice and light on the mat. Inhale. Keep the knees bent as you exhale and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, we place the hands, step or jump back into your plank. Exhale, take your vinyasa, half chaturanga or full, into cobra or into upward facing dog. Exhale, we all meet back in downward facing dog. Look forward to your right thumb, step the right foot forward. Take your back heel down, feet are either hip width apart or we have heel to heel alignment if you're familiar with that and that feels comfortable. Come on up, Vera 1, Warrior 1. Anchoring down through that back heel, inwardly rotating that back thigh to help bring the left hip around. One more breath here, Warrior 1. Exhale, frame that front foot. Step back, plank. Either move straight to downward dog and rest there, or take your flow, your vinyasa, and then move back into your downward facing dog. Full breath here. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward to left hand. Left foot steps up to left thumb. Right heel is down. Inhale, Warrior 1. Exhale, let the shoulders rest. Reaching up through the fingertips, but the shoulders aren't involved. Pressing through that back heel. Bringing that right hip around by internally rotating the right thigh. Last deep breath. Exhale, frame your front foot. Step back to plank. Either move straight back to downward dog or take your flow. We'll all meet back in downward facing dog for a deep breath. Inhale. Exhale. Bend the knees. Look forward to your hands. Step or jump forward. Halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Bring your feet together. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees. Come up through chair pose. Utkatasana. Exhale, bring the hands together at your heart. Bend the knees a little deeper. We're still in our chair pose. Deepening the crease in the front of the hips. Nice deep breath in. Body weight to the right foot. Point your left toes back. Keep squeezing inner thighs. Keep the knees bent. Take a big step back. And then open out, Warrior 2. So nice slow step back so we keep that control. And then just have a look at where your front toes are pointing. Have a look at where your front knee is pointing. So if your knee is falling in and hiding your toes, press it out so you can see your toes. Engage the glutes to help open the front of the pelvis. Raise the arms. Nice deep breaths here. Turn the palms up. Let's move a little bit here. Straighten that front leg. Raise the arms up. Exhale. Reset into your Warrior 2. Breathing in. Raise the arms. Look up. Exhale. Open back out. One more time. We raise the arms. Straighten that front leg. And then exhale. Left hand down your back leg. Right arm reaching up, reverse triangle. So it's more of a side stretch than it is a back bend. So you want to feel that into the right side of your waist, not your lower back. Take another inhale, really reaching up through the right hand. Exhale, start to bring that right hand forward. Keep your hips moving back in space. Hover, turn the gaze back, and then place that right hand onto your leg, left arm up. So in triangle pose, we're really not dropping any weight down through this front hand, in this case the right hand. If you're clutching your shin and holding on for dear life, pull up through your belly, lengthen your spine, and then use the strength of your legs pushing away from each other to help give you a little more support in this pose. Gaze up if it's okay for the neck, down if the neck is a little bit strained. We've got another round of breath here. We're going to bend our front knee and exhale, transition back into our warrior two. Nice deep breath here. As you exhale, belly in, reach that right arm forward, hover, and place the forearm onto your thigh. Left fingertips up to the sky first. Keep that left shoulder blade down the back as you bring the arm alongside your ear. Side angle stretch. One long line from those left fingertips all the way down to that left heel. Stay here if this is the variation for you. Wrap that top arm around behind you if you'd like to take a half bind. If you can keep the chest open and that top shoulder rolling back, you can drop your fingertips to the instep of that foot. If anyone is familiar with a full bind and you'd like to go into it here, feel free to. We've got 2 more deep breaths. So it's really the strength of this pose is from the legs. Here we're not dumping much weight down through that front hand. Take a breath in. Exhale, let's all look down to that front foot. Place the fingertips around that front foot, step it back, downward dog. Nice deep breath here. Check in with how your body feels. Feel free to take passive rest in child's pose. Active rest, staying here in downward dog, or moving, rolling forward into your plank. And exhaling, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Breathing in, heart forward and up, cobra, or lifting into your upward facing dog. And then exhaling back into your downward facing dog. Nice deep breath. Exhale. Bend the knees. Look forward to your hands, step or jump the feet forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Feet are together as we exhale and fold all the way down. Bend the knees, coming up through your chair pose. Reaching the arms forward and up. Exhale, hands together at the heart. So staying where you are, I'll just move to the other end of my mat. Take the body weight to the left foot this time. Pick that right foot up, point the toes back. Find your balance and then slowly, with control, big step back. We're opening out into our warrior two. So nice big step back. Landing that back foot and then building your pose from the feet upwards. If the feet are pointing in the wrong direction, it's going to affect the rest of the body. So back toes in, front toes straight ahead. Make sure that knee is tracking your 2 middle toes. And then that way, the pelvis and the shoulders just naturally orientate themselves. Nice deep breaths here. Calm that breathing down. We're going to turn the palms up. Take an inhale, raise the arms up overhead. Gaze up to the fingertips. Exhale, open back out, warrior two. Breathing in, reach up. Breathing out. Our final time, we raise the arms, keep the arms and legs straight, and then take the right hand down the back leg, come into your reverse triangle. So what we're doing here, coming into it this way, is trying to lengthen this left side of our waist. So that when we start to tilt forward, we're keeping that length, reaching the left arm forward, hovering there to make sure that we're reaching out through the crown of the head, then taking the hand down. So we're not reaching the hand down and losing that length that we've just created. So keep your head up, top arm reaching. If you're up a little higher, that's fine. It's better to be here than to be kind of somewhere like this. So keep that length in your lower waist. is the moral of that story. Nice deep breath here. Again, light in that front hand. Last inhale. Exhale, bend that front knee. Moving back up through your warrior two. And then reaching those left fingertips forward. Again, we're keeping length in that left waist. This is why we do that reach first, in case you ever wondered. And then forearm comes down. We haven't lost that length either side of the waist. Top arm can reach up. And then keep your shoulder pulling down as you reach the arm up alongside the air. So it's a long line from fingertips down to heel. Again, you've got the option to take your half bind here. So half binds help to roll the shoulder back and open the chest. You can take your fingertips down to the instep of that front foot. But again, if your lower waist just collapses or you're rounding the upper body, it's much better to stay higher and lengthen your spine. Again, if anyone's in their full bind, you're welcome to take it here. Nice deep breaths. Last inhale. Unbinding the arms, framing that front foot, step back, downward facing dog. Take an inhale here. Let it go through the mouth. Decide whether you rest, child's pose or downward dog, whether you float, coming forward, lower down, and then lift the heart forward and up. And then we're all going to meet in our child's pose. Knees come nice and wide this time. Big toes touching. Sit the hips back towards the heels and then reach the arms forward. Let the elbows drop. And calm down the breath. Whole point of child's pose is not only to physically rest the body. So shoulders and wrists, flow classes are a little more intensive on those areas because we are doing so many planks and vinyasas and things in between. We're also using this time to slow down the breathing. Coming back to that lovely slow rhythm that we engaged with at the start of our practice. Slower breathing, slowing the heart rate down. Turning the attention inwards. And let's take 3 more deep breaths. And then at the end of your next exhale, lift up onto the knees, taking the knees back to hip width apart, and then coming down onto your forearms. Interlacing the hands and just taking the elbows a little closer together. So usually we have the elbows straight underneath the shoulders. For this variation, we're going to have the elbows closer together than shoulder width. So pull them in a little bit. Tuck your toes underneath. Start to push the floor away. So that helps to set the shoulder blades on the spine. It helps to broaden the chest on the collarbones, and it stabilizes the shoulder girdle. So all those muscles are activating to keep the shoulders still. We're going to lift the knees and come into our dolphin pose. Walk the feet in, keep your knees bent, and then lift the hips high. So it doesn't matter about straightening the legs, we want to straight back. Lift the hips up, keep pressing the forearms down into the floor, and feel all that space in the chest. This is our inversion practice. It's a prep for a headstand. And actually, the prep is harder than the pose itself. So it's meant to feel challenging. It's really strengthening for the shoulders. Keep your breath slow and steady. 2 more. Find ease with your breath. Last inhale. Exhale, place the knees down, but together this time if you can. Hips come back to the heels, arms reach back, and the shoulders round forward. Full Balasana, full child's pose. Again, just using this time to slow down your breathing. Last inhale, last exhale. Take the hands just underneath the shoulders. Press into them, roll yourself up to sitting, letting the head come up. Last of all, we're going to slide the hips over to the side of the mat, swing the legs around in front of us, and come into our seated forward fold a slightly different way. So if you know the hamstrings are a bit tighter, grab a cushion or grab a blanket and sit on the front edge of it. So you don't want to be sitting flat. We want to be tilting the pelvis a little bit. That's how we get into a forward fold, by repositioning the pelvis. We're going to take the feet slightly apart, grab hold of the big toes, and try and glue your chest to your thighs. So lengthening the spine, lift the chest, and then either slide or kind of walk the feet forward until you feel like your chest is about to lift away from your thighs. So really easy to cheat here and think, oh, well, I'll just, come into this shape. Try not to cheat. Try really, really hard to keep your spine super straight. Close your eyes, slide the heels forward, and when you feel your chest wanting to leave your thighs, just hold there. That's the point where you should start to feel the hamstrings stretching. So some of you might be a little bit further down, but really what we're doing is encouraging that tilting movement of the pelvis. So instead of coming into our forward fold using our back to get there, and we do that by rounding into the worst possible place, that can cause like bulging disc problems and all that stuff you really want to avoid. So coming into it with a straight spine is encouraging more release of your hamstrings. So breathing here. Keeping your belly pulled in. So if your shoulders are tense, you need to turn your tummy on, pull the navel to the spine, and just keep pulling on the big toes a little bit. It helps to send the chest forward. A couple more rounds of breath there, softness at the knees, neck in line with the spine. Last full breath. And then take your fingertips onto the floor. Walk the hands all the way back behind you. Point the toes, zip the legs, actually keep the legs hip width, and then roll the thighs in towards each other. So you roll them in to bring the big toes to touch. Turn your fingertips out just slightly. Have the hands pointing forward or slightly out, not back. Roll the shoulders back, puff up your chest. You might want to stay here. This is just a little counter pose for that forward fold. Or pull the tummy in, firm the buttocks, start to lift the hips. Purvattanasana, this is our inclined plane, reverse plank. Head can go back if it feels okay. Inhale. Slowly exhale, release the hips back down. If you took the head back, draw the chin to the chest. Inhale and exhale to release from there. Let's bend the left knee in and take that left foot up over your right leg. Flexing that right foot. Taking your left fingertips behind the body and right arm up. So find length, really reach up through the fingertips. Keep that length as you hook elbow to your thigh, so outer thigh, and then push the arm and the leg into each other to take your spinal twist. And make sure this back hand isn't too far back. If it does go back, it encourages us to round and kind of collapse. So have it in nice and close. It'll keep the spine longer and keep that sensation in the upper spine. Close the eyes. Find a calmer breath. Last inhale. And as you exhale, de-rotate. Take a little counter twist there, sitting tall. And just because we're here already, I think we can have a little bit of a play with baby grasshopper, which I know a few of you have done with me in classes in the past. So we'll just give it a go. Don't worry if you don't get it. Nothing, nothing will come of it, even if you do get it. Nothing in your life will change. So we have that left foot pressing down into the floor. Our points of contact are going to be that left foot and our right hand. So your right hand doesn't want to be too far away from the hip, because we want to be able to bend this right elbow and rest our rib cage on it. With our left hand, so we're at the inside of that knee, we're going to reach down. You either tuck your hand underneath the calf muscle, if that's as far as you can reach, or under the ankle, or if you can, you grab the outside edge of that foot. And then we need a little bit of momentum to get into it. So we're going to rock back, and then as you rock forward, push into your right hand and into your left foot. Try and lift the bum up away from the floor. So really, it's not a lot of upper body strength. It's more pushing into that foot. Let me see. Who can I see up there? No one. You've all got your videos off. I'm sure you're doing an amazing job. We have to turn videos off on next time we do that. So give it another go on that side if you want to. If you're ready to shake the legs out in front, go for it. Whoop. Nearly time to come into relaxation. So we'll do this other side quickly, pulling that right knee in, stepping it up and over that left leg. Keep those left toes flexed. Take that right hand behind you. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, elbow into the back of the leg. Close your eyes. Slowing the breath down. That's one thing we get really good at doing, is calming the breath, calming the body, calming the nervous system throughout our practice, helping us to bring balance into what we are doing. Last inhale and exhale. De-rotate, take a little counter twist. And then if you want to give your baby grasshopper a go on this side, try it. Sometimes you'll find it's a bit easier or more accessible on one side just because it's your dominant leg or dominant arm. Sometimes changing sides can make a bit of a difference. So again, if you can't reach all the way down to the foot, it doesn't matter. You can reach and grab hold onto the leg. You can reach the foot. It's really about getting that leverage, pushing that standing foot into the floor and lifting your bum. A little bit of a rock back if you need it, rocking forward and then lifting. And really that one's just about technique. Once you get it, kind of makes sense. Once you've done it, you can practice that all weekend if you want to. Once you've done, give your legs a bit of a shake. And we better bring ourselves down onto the mat. So if you've got blankets and cushions and things that you want to use for your relaxation, have them handy. Take your hips forward a little bit. We're going to sit tall. Reach the arms out in front. Start to roll down. You'll know if you need to modify, in which case you bend the knees, hold on to your legs. Otherwise, slowly coming down onto your mat. Let the feet fall out to the sides. Let the arms relax to the sides of the body. If you need to adjust, so if your lower back isn't feeling that comfortable, lift the hips up, tuck the tailbone, see how that feels. If that still hasn't sorted the problem, if you're still getting a little bit of sensitivity, a cushion underneath the knees, or come back into your constructive rest. Slow the breathing. Find stillness with your body. More dynamic practices will stimulate the nervous system. So we just want to use this time to calm it back down. Allowing your breath to slow. Allowing the back of the body to drop down into the mat, really release. Breathing will naturally slow down once our muscles don't require as much oxygen. And even when our breath moves back into its natural rhythm, we want to observe that flow. Staying present and then allowing the body to relax completely. And if you would like a long relaxation this evening, stay exactly where you are for as long as you would like. You don't need to get up to end your session. I can do that from my end for you. So if you are happy where you are, relax. Focus on the breath. If you are ready to move on with your evening in your own time and your own way, just inviting a little bit of movement back into your body. What feels good? What's needed? Full body stretch, or maybe you want to hug the legs in and take a little rock on your back side to side. And then we'll roll over to the side of the body. So this is just if you are coming out of your relaxation, if you're choosing to stay there, and just stay exactly where you were on your back. From your side, coming on up into a comfortable seat. Perhaps legs crossed or kneeling, sitting with a straight spine, shoulders relaxed, face relaxed. Taking a couple of deep breaths to finish, in through the nose, back out through the nose. Next inhale, raise the arms up overhead, lengthen your spine. Join the hands together and exhale, hands down in front of heart center. An extra breath. Exhale, head down to the heart. Just taking a moment here sealing your practice. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.